Let me do something first, mate. Hi everyone, my name is Milan and welcome to another Tokulook. But instead of Show Rider, we are looking at Sentai for the first time. We are going to look at the Kiramager Final. I have some sparkling water, obviously, and yeah, this show is really good. I don't have any complaints, except for that Neko episode. That was that was a bit sus, but this show is really good, but I'll talk about that later. Let's talk about the episode. So, basically, what happens is we continue from the last episode where the Kinemagers, transform for the last time, and they try to think of a plan to defeat Emperor Yodon. But Carunchula says that the only way to defeat Yodon is by taking his helmet off, but he only takes it off when he defeats his opponent. So what Carunchula is saying is that they should die. And Takemichi gets kind of annoyed, but Juru gets his last Kirame King in Sparkulation, whatever you want to call it, and he thinks of a plan to, defeat Yodon. So the opening then starts, and we have this section where Yodona is still alive, and everybody was like, "Oh, Yodona is gonna live." I'm so happy she died. I'm just so happy she died, because I just wanted to piss off all the simps. I just wanted them to be so annoyed and just crave for revenge. Just like those people that when Izu died in 01, when everybody wanted her to come back. Oh boy, oh boy. But I was kind of sad. And I was quite sad with Yodona dying too, but I just could care less at the end of the day. But anyway, we find out some backstory about how Yodona came to be, and the backstory behind Yodon as well. So basically, I got my notes here. He is the incarnation of serpents. Okay, and he was like Mook level kind of person. He wasn't really strong at all until one day he got struck with lightning, purple lightning. We need to make that clear, purple lightning, and he got mentality, I guess. He said that he gained the inspiration to do stuff, which is why he created his first mask, which is the thing that he has on his head, and by that he was able to be stronger. So after he defeated his opponents, he absorbed his enemies, and in his mind that we saw through a numerous amount of episodes, he created Yodona and Shannon, who was defeated a couple of episodes ago. And that's interesting because he says that because of the fact that they were created, he had to kind of rely on them as they kind of did stuff for him, and he basically became weak as a result of having people having people on him, taking care of others, which is basically the polar opposite of what Kiramager stand by. Like, they work together to do good. They become stronger when they're working together, whereas Yodon wants to be independent because he never liked working with others in the first place. So it's an interesting dynamic. Maybe it could have been introduced earlier, you can say that, but it didn't really matter because as a villain, he was not that interesting at the end of the day. So I'm absolutely fine with this. And then Yodona, the simp that she was for Yodon, she got really happy and she said that she was Yokata. I'm so happy that I was of service. I died so I can become stronger. Alright, cool. You guys can die too, I guess, or you sims for Yodona so you can make her happy. Jesus. But that's besides the point. So it looks like we're having a final fight with the mechs and Yodon, and they're about to die, and they die with Emperor Yodon doing the Yodon Destroyer, and he defeats them until you find out that this was all a troll. So what Judo did, he used the what do you call them? The Kanayama stones. He used the illusion one to create this world where everything goes according to Yodon's plan. So he basically thinks that he defeated the mechs, but the mechs were literally on the other side. Like, so that was pretty funny. And then because he thought that they were defeated, he was gonna absorb them. So he took off his mask, and then they shoved it away, and now he's vulnerable because he doesn't have anything to protect him. Because that mask, for those that don't know, the mask is so strong that there's not even anything existing in this world, well, in that world, that is able to destroy it. And it was really difficult to basically destroy Yodon as a result of that, until he removed his mask. Then who was it? Takemichi does his Crusher finisher, and Yodon goes small sized, and that's when Mamoshina just comes in this like kind of deserted place, and she says something along the lines of, "Oh, I'm gonna show you these shining warriors." Why did you just become the narrator now? Okay, cool. And then we have a helmetless roll call. Hell yeah, I love a helmetless roll call. I've seen people calling out the fact that Juru didn't do the backflip, or like the stuntman did it, or it was him but there was a wire behind him. Who cares? I personally believe that he did it, and even if a wire helped him out, a backflip is hard to do, okay? So I don't want to hear it from anyone. If he did it, even with a wire, then props to him, because backflips are hard to do. You have to train for it. So shut, all of you, just shut it. It doesn't matter. Who cares? But yeah, it was a nice helmetless roll call. They even did the poses for the team roll call, so that was pretty funny. And then they just put their helmets back on, and we have a final fight where Mabushina basically, she has flashbacks of, when she chose the Kiramagers when the stones wanted to be with them, and also just some flashbacks throughout the show of how these characters have improved throughout time. And we end on Juru doing a Sparking Phoenix, but it's a Destroyer edition because he uses the Destroyer, I call it Destroyer because it reminds me of Bakugan, you know Destroyer? Yeah, you know that show? That's a banger show. But besides the point, they defeat Yodon, and yeah, that's really it. That's the first half of the episode. They defeat Yodon, and everybody's really happy. All the zombie kind of turned humans were turned back to normal, and Kikihara, is that her name? Kakihara, well, Juru's GF basically at this point. She says, "Oh, you did it, Juru," or Atsuta, I think his name is, whatever. Everything got turned back to normal, and everything is fine. So that's good on them. And then we go 3 months into the future, and there's this thing. What is it? It's called a hackathon. Karat probably created this, so yeah, I don't know. There's this hackathon, and Juru asked for a virtual meeting with his friends. Oh, they learned from COVID, didn't they? Now, I just find it funny because obviously it's still quarantine. Well, for me, it's supposed to end soon in the UK. I don't know for those of you that are watching around the world at this time. But anyway, that doesn't matter. It's just kind of funny. It's kind of, I don't know if they did it on purpose, but it's kind of poking fun at the COVID situation. But it's kind of futuristic, like virtual meetings. So fair enough. Anyway, we find out that Crunchyroll has made a deal with Juru, and Crunchyroll basically makes all the mooks just draw art, because Crunchyroll is like kind of a neutral character in the sense that it's kind of like neutral bacteria, Watch Hataraku Saibo, that's a good anime. It's like neutral bacteria, so like whoever's winning, they'll kind of side with them. But with Crunchyroll, they just want to do their own stuff, so it's just, because they were in Yodoheim, they were just working for Yodoheim, but they really just want to do their own stuff. So that's that. And there's this talk about why Juru had all of these Kirame Kings. Why is he so special? And I kind of like this because Shigeru makes this whole drag about, why he was able to do it, why he was able to connect with Gaza and Oradin. And Shigeru just says that it's just a lovely plot convenience. They just say lovely coincidence, but I just find it funny because Tametomo says something along the lines of, it was a lovely coincidence in the sense that you were able to connect to a different world at the same time when Oradin had a Kirame King. And you know what? I can believe that. Again, we know that Judo from the beginning is kind of an aspiring artist and he has all these crazy ideas. So I'm not, I don't, I believe it. I don't know. That's just me though. People could call it bullshit if they want. Good for you, mate. And then oh yeah, so we then have Mabushina and Takemichi come in. We move into Crystalia, such a nice looking place, I'll be honest. And we find out that Mabushina has been crowned queen, which is very nice. Takemichi says that it makes sense due to the fact that Oradin is a bird when he's really a phoenix. And he says that his mum, well, adopted mum, is a paperweight when she's just a crown. But anyway, because of that, it made sense for Mabushina to be crowned a queen, as well as the fact that she cares for everyone, so it just makes more sense. At the same time, Gaza was able to revert Oradin in like 2 episodes prior, so I'm sure it's not impossible for them to do this. I have no idea what happened, but it is what it is. And oh yeah, so they brought back Crystalia. I don't know if you knew that. They used all of the Kanayama stones, and I guess they're gone now. Oh no, they're not gone. It's like the Dragon Balls basically. So they made a wish and then they just fucked off again. So they could make the wish to make Oradin and I forgot the queen's name, but both of them back into their normal Crystallian forms. So I guess they could do that. So that's cool. Oh yeah, everybody has Hokage statues, so that's cool. Yeah, that was kind of dumb, not gonna lie, but that was kind of funny. Oh yeah, and then Judo's GF, yeah, I'm still calling it that. So she comes into the virtual room, and she tells off Judo because I don't know if this guy is just cheeky cunt or something, but she asks him to draw her as a portrait, and the guy just draws Zenkaiger. And he draws like a tiny like a face of her in the corner. Like, are you just a piece of shit at this point? Like, I don't get this. Like, why are you being such a cunt to her, bro? Come on, man. She likes you, but stop being a piece of shit, man. Come on. So that was funny. And it's kind of funny at the same time because he draws Zenkaiger, right? And Tamatomo says, "Did you connect to another world?" So I'm interested to see if they're gonna do a collab, like a crossover movie in them, because I mean they will when Zenkaiger ends, because if for those of you that don't know, Ryu Soldier versus Kiramager is coming out soon. It literally got announced when the episode ended, so yeah, that's really the end. Yeah, it's just, yeah. What do I think of this show? Well, I'm not gonna tell you because I'm not doing a Tokulook on the whole show, but I will say that this show is good. Very good, actually. And it's not just because the writer is the writer for Kuga. I haven't seen Kuga, so I can't say that. It's definitely better than Real Soldier, and I'll just make this comparison now because I'll probably mention it later anyway. Because I mean, I might do a Tokulook on the movies and not the whole shows, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm saying this. The reason why I prefer Kiramager over Ryu Soldier is very simple. With Ryu Soldier, the characters felt like caricatures. There were definitely parts where they developed as characters in some aspects, but at the same time, you never felt like this connection with them. You never could feel like, oh, I can understand why these characters are fighting and like, all this stuff. I'm not like I prefer shows that are character focused, like Lupart, but at the same time, that was not like the main thing I look in the show. But at the same time, Ryu Soldier just didn't have that connection, whether it's the plot or whether it's just the characters itself. I just never felt a connection fully, which is why it wasn't a turn off, but I just didn't feel like I enjoyed it as much as I should. Whereas with Kiramager, they're just really ordinary people with just, really big aspirations and a huge passion for what they do. And because of that, you could relate to them because they're literally just regular people doing their regular job. Like, I love Shigeru and Tamatomo. They're like my 2 favorite characters in that whole show because of the fact that they relate their job their careers into regular scenarios, and we have this huge development with them, which is so great. Like I really love that, which is why my like the duo, they call it duo in that one episode. I love those two characters. It's so great, and I could just relate to the plot, and I can relate to everything else, like the characters. It was so much more than Ryu Soldier. So I'm gonna leave that for you to think about, because I'm not doing a review on the show, or a review, because this is a Tokulook. So yeah, that's my Tokulook. Stronger Tokulook coming soon. As I'm recording this video will come out on my birthday. I'm turning 18, and yeah, I don't know. Yeah, have fun. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, hope you have fun. I will see you after the Stronger Tokulook in either the Skyrider Tokulook or in the Tokuda, because we're going to do a Tokuda for Zenkaiger. Very excited for the show. I love Zenkaiger's suit so much, so good. And that's really it. So I hope you guys have fun. Hope you guys are staying safe. And yeah, Boris can suck his mum, but I don't know. I'm not in the mood. So, Johnny.